Welcome back to that God Power channel. This is the channel where we're going to unlock the God Power that's laying dormant on the inside of you. But today, since you haven't seen me in a while, I just want to say what's up to everybody and thank you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. And we're still counting, still counting up, and that's a good thing. So the last time that you was with me, it was the celebration of 1,000 subscribers video. We got there. Thank you everybody again. But this time, today, what we're going to do is continue breaking down the book of Acts because we have not finished that. The last time we stopped, we were on chapter 17. So naturally, today we're going to pick up and keep it rolling with chapter 18. So boom, chapter 18. It starts off with Paul, and he left Athens. So if you can remember, he was in Athens last time, trying to convert the people of Athens. So he left Athens and went to Corinth. And there he met this dude named Aquila, who was a Jew born in this place called Pontus. And he recently came from Italy with his wife named Priscilla. And those two, they left Italy when Claudius Caesar deported all the Jews from Rome. So Jews have been getting persecuted since the beginning of the day, you know what I'm saying? Especially in Rome, that's where it's starting from, clearly from this story. So Paul lived with these people, Aquila and Priscilla, and he worked with them because they were tent makers just like he was. And every Sabbath, Paul found himself at the synagogue trying to convince the Jews and the Greeks alike. He was basically trying to convince them that Jesus is the way. And after Silas and Timothy came down from Macedonia, those were two other apostles, they came down from Macedonia, they found that Paul spent all his time preaching the word. He testified to the Jews that Jesus was the Messiah. But when they opposed and insulted him, Paul just shook the dust from his clothes and said, your blood is on your own heads. I'm innocent. From now on, I'm going to go preach to the Gentiles. So then Paul left and he went to the house of this dude named Titus Justus, who was a Gentile who worshiped God and lived next door to the synagogue. Now Crispus, the leader of the synagogue, and everybody in his household believed in the Lord. And many others in Corinth also heard Paul and became believers, and they were baptized. Now one night, the Lord spoke to Paul in a vision and told him, "Don't be afraid. Speak out. Don't be silent, for I am with you, and no one will attack you and harm you, for many people in this city belong to me." So Paul stayed there for the next year and a half, teaching the word of God. But when Gallio became the governor of Achaia, some Jews rose up against Paul, and they brought him before the governor for judgment. They accused Paul of persuading people to worship God in ways that are contrary to our law. But just as Paul started to make his defense, Gallio turned to Paul's accuser and said, "Listen, you Jews, if this were a case involving some wrongdoing or some severe crime, I would have a reason to accept your case. But since it's merely a question of words and names in Jewish law, take care of it yourselves. I refuse to judge such matters." And then he threw them out the courtroom. So Paul stayed in Corinth for some time after that. And then he eventually said goodbye to his brothers and sisters and went to the nearby city of Centria. And there he actually shaved his head according to the Jewish custom. Now, after that, he set sail for Syria, and he took Priscilla and Aquila with him. Those are the two Jews that had left Italy. Now they stopped first at the port of Ephesus, and that's where Paul left the others behind. And while he was there, he went to the synagogue to reason with the Jews. They asked him to stay longer, but he declined. And as he left, he said, "I will come back later, God willing." And then he set sail from Ephesus. Now the next stop was at the port of Caesarea. And from there, he went and visited the church at Jerusalem, and then he went back to Antioch. After spending some time in Antioch, Paul went back through Galatia and Phrygia, visiting and strengthening all the believers that he had previously seen. And meanwhile, a Jew named Apollos, who was an eloquent speaker who knew the scriptures well, he had arrived in Ephesus from Alexandria, Egypt. He had been taught the way of the Lord, and he taught others about Jesus with an enthusiastic spirit and with accuracy. However, he only knew about John's baptism. So when Priscilla and Aquila heard him preaching boldly in the synagogue, they took him aside and they explained the way of God even more accurately. Now Apollos, he had been thinking about going to Achaia, and the brothers and sisters in Ephesus encouraged him to go. They actually wrote to the believers in Achaia asking them to welcome him. So when he arrived there, he proved to be of great benefit to those who, by God's grace, had believed. He refuted the Jews with powerful arguments in public debate. Using the scriptures, he explained to them that Jesus was the Messiah. So now you got a little domino effect happening. So Paul's out here preaching. There's other people who believe in God who's enthusiastic in preaching too. But since Paul had preached the word to the two Jews, Aquila and Priscilla, they saw someone else preaching, and then they shared the full gospel with him and lit him on fire. So he went and preached the word in other areas. So one man or one message is starting to spread out into many like a virus. So that's the end of chapter 18. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you're enjoying the story of Paul and the story of the apostles going around and spreading Christianity. If you never knew how Christianity started and got so big, well, this is the way. You should go back and watch Acts chapter 1 all the way till now, because it explains it all in full detail. Thank y'all for being with me. I hope you have a wonderful, great, beautiful day. Happy Saturday, everybody. It might not be Saturday when you watch this, but when I recorded it, it's Saturday and it's sunny and it's beautiful. So make sure you do something good today. Make sure you love everybody. Make sure you try to do a random act of kindness for somebody. And enjoy the weather. Enjoy all the things of nature, the things that God provided us, you know. But other than that, I just want y'all to make sure that you remember that you got that God power.
Loving the God power. I got the God power.
Tapping the sources, caught in the vibes. I just thank God I'm alive. I just thank God that I'm fly. I just thank God for my rhymes.